Welcome to Living Magically. I'm your host, Michelle Orwick, and we're coming into a big, powerful Pisces season new moon. And right now, what I am encouraging you to do is lean into Pisces season because it's dreamy, right? Pisces is the dreamland, and this is where we are right now. We're deep, deep into Pisces season, and we're getting ready for a new moon on Sunday. In the early mornings of Sunday, we have this dreamy Pisces super new moon. But what does that mean for us right now? So right here, where we're at is that we're in a disseminating moon. That means that the full moon is growing smaller and smaller in the sky. And Pisces rules forgiveness. I feel like that's a really interesting place to be right now because we're getting ready for eclipse season. And when we have an eclipse, it is intense and it is powerful. So this will be the last month we have no retrogrades for a very long time. So right now we have no planets in retrograde, and we won't even start the Mercury shadow until the end of March. So this new moon that's coming will be still one last new moon with no planets in retrograde. And what I always think about for my manifestations, a new moon is the perfect time for igniting a manifestation, is what do I have to let go of first? And that's really the astrology of this week. The fact that the moon gets smaller and smaller and smaller till it empties out over the weekend to liminal space of empty space. In fact, Saturday we're having a beautiful retreat, a gorgeous retreat with Missy, Leona, and Marissa and I are all doing different parts of this process. We'll have a static dance and Egyptian oils and some body movement and all these amazing things. And it's designed to do just exactly that, to help us release anything that isn't going to be the new identity. There's definitely in a Pisces season a dreaming phase. It's the perfect time to dream big. It's the perfect time to think about, as we just passed this leap year, we're still in the 3-3 portal. We'll be in that all the way till the 30th of March. We've got an equinox and an eclipse coming at the end of this month. So this particular moon is kind of important, really, this new moon that happens on Sunday morning. So the way I see it is, what do you have to forgive about yourself? And what do you have to forgive about your situations? And what do you have to accept as true so that you can create and change and become this other thing? What happens is, it's really impossible to be in creation mode if you're still in the aggression, if you're still in the blame, if you're still in the victim, or if you're still in the shame. And I know you're all, if you're watching this podcast or listening to this podcast, you're already a pretty elevated person. I'm going to give you that credit right off the bat. And yet we can all let go of outdated habits and outdated experiences and outdated identities. And I really think that that's what happens during eclipse season. We've got a Libra eclipse at the full moon. So this particular new moon will activate the beginning of that eclipse. And you're not going to be manifesting at the eclipse. You lots of big things happen at eclipse, but that isn't the perfect time for manifesting. So really, this is the last manifesting portal before we get into eclipse season. And eclipse season's powerful and it's transformative, and we will talk a lot more about that next week. We'll start talking about the eclipses and the equinox next week. But here, what I want you to do is What is it you're ready to let go of to become the next version of you? When we want change, we can't be exactly the same and expect a different outcome. So what is the old habit we have to let go of? Or what is the new habit we must actually start encouraging ourselves to create? So there's either one creates a different outcome. You have to either not do something or do something that is new. And really, for me, it's usually what do I let go of? And then what do I replace it with? Because usually there's only so much time and only so much space. This is that place where you can let go of, maybe it's procrastination. And a lot of times I think procrastination is an act of thinking about it too much and perfecting it too much in our mind and giving it too much power. Because then what happens is we don't do it. And you find out that it only took a minute. It really didn't take that long. Or maybe it took plenty of time, but it wasn't very hard. And once you do it, you're actually quite satisfied with yourself. But in the meantime, you distract yourself and you talk yourself around in circles. And it's easy during Pisces season to be highly emotional. And trust me, I feel it too. There's all these solar flares. There's a lot going on in the physicality. The world is, if you're an empath, the world is very intense right now. It's been intense for a bit, and it's going to stay intense for a while. We're moving into this major transit, the biggest transit of the entire year. Probably is happening on the 20th of April, which is the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Taurus. And so what I encourage you to do, knowing that you're coming into eclipse season, knowing that this major transit is coming up on the 20th of April, is a life review. And I'm doing it too. Review kind of in meditation, and you can do this with paper, you can do this in thought. Where are you right now? And it being leap year, where were you 4 years ago? Where were you right now? We're exactly 4 years from where that pandemic started. We're in a similar cycle. We are in an election year. We're in some energies that are very repetitive to 4 years ago. And I will bet you have taken more of a quantum leap than you think. So take that review and then take a moment and see, where do you want to be that next 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 1 year from now, and 4 years from now. And see what are the habits that would create that. And they always say act as if you already have your manifestation. I'm going to get a little bit more detailed in that. I'm going to say you actually have to do the actions of that person. So if the person is already doing something, what are the habits that make success? What are the habits that make the relationship that you're trying to create? What are the habits that you want to formulate, and start eliminating anything that isn't that? And that includes people. Who is it in your vibration that is lowering your vibration? Who and what in your world lowers you and brings you down? Maybe it's watching too much news. Maybe it's maybe you want to go to the gym, so you eliminate some TV watching to spend more time at the gym. Maybe you're just not happy, and you look at who in your life, when you get together with them, are talking gossip and just talking negative talk. And instead of going with them to have dinner, you take them to see an uplifting movie, and then you spend the time that you want with them in a place where you're not actually listening to them just complain about their lives and tell you it's impossible for you to do something. Instead, find some people, and it may take time, but go and actively pursue spending time around people with a high vibration. That's why I like group gatherings. That's why I like, maybe it's a drum circle in your area. Maybe it's something that you enjoy doing. Go to meetup.com and find a hiking group, or there's a board game group in Orlando, or whatever it is that you're looking to make happen. Or maybe you even go out and create the meetup group, or you start inviting friends over to craft or art, or maybe you invite people over to go hiking or spend more time in nature, or maybe you just decide we're going to do a tarot card night once a month. Actually put into place the actions that are going to support this new version of you, and invoke the people that are going to make it inevitable. This is what brainstorming does. This is what creating a group of like-minded mastermind type people is going to do for you. When I was ready to change my life, I joined my first mastermind. And at that point, I did not have the money to join a professional mastermind. I just looked at the people that were similar to me in the area, and we started getting together, and there was 5 of us, and we actually were pitching our marketing and looking at our each other's websites and emails and stuff to just see what we could do to coach each other. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can be a trade of energy between another person. I actually trade an accountability call every Monday, and I've done that for 4 years. And I can't tell you how much having that person to check in with and see how much I've done in a week and what I want to do that week. And I do it on Monday mornings. Who wants to get up on Monday mornings? Well, I do, because that's the position I'm in, because my soul is driven to create and recalibrate and get back online. And I really believe that that's what this particular week and new moon is about. What do you need to do to recalibrate? If you felt off track, if you felt off kilter, and we've all done it. There's no shame in it. This is just that time to check your alignment and to get back on track. And maybe open up your calendar and plan some things, because it is Pisces new moon. I'm going to encourage you to plan for your future and dream about your future. And so I'll start journaling as much as 3 days before this new moon. So that really, you're looking at Thursday, Friday, Saturday of this week to dream journal and look at what is it, if you were to just let go of, well, I don't know how, to I just want this, and it's a soul level desire. How would it look? What would it feel like? And then get into meditation. The 3 days before the new moon are some of the best days for meditation. It means that the moon isn't visible in the sky, and we call this actually the dark moon, or the black moon, or a couple of different names for it, but it's the liminal creation period, the void, and it's Pisces. So it's all about dreaming. So what a better time to go into the womb, go into the dream state, go into your creative energy. So again, it's a great time to make art, to dance, to get out in nature, anything that is creative and creation energy. Then you hit Sunday being the new moon, and you'll have that 3 days of potent new moon, but it's super early in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, like 5 a.m. So what I'll encourage you to do and invite into your life is set aside a little bit of time, if possible, on Sunday morning to journal, to write, to meditate, and to really focus in on who do you want to be? How does that look? What do you want it to feel like? Who are you calling in? What are you calling in? What are you going to create? Because Pisces is possibly the most creative, inspirational sign. So again, the two things that I think of when I think of Pisces is deep forgiveness and dreaming. And of course, I guess there's three, and that last one is creativity. So as we get closer to the equinox, as we get closer to the eclipse season, what are you going to dream into being? What are you going to write into being? What are you going to paint or draw or create in any way? So it's the artist, and call upon your inner artist in a way that makes you feel inspired, in love, in dreaming, in think big dreams, right? Where can you be 4 years from now? What quantum leap are you taking right now? And yes, we had leap day already. I will consider this entire year a leap opportunity. Really take that jump, make that risk, and do the thing. So yes, this is the time. And as you know, I'm a big proponent for creating magic. So when I do ritual around this time of year, we're getting toward the equinox and it's planting of seeds. So it might be time to also clean your garden out, empty your home, let go of whatever it is you're letting go of, because we want to have, as we go into high growth season at the equinox, we want to have that chance to plant fertile soil. So this is that time to really get rid of the gunk and the junk. And in fact, we even cleared the front porch, all of the bushes in the front porch. We just took them all the dead stuff and started getting ready to have fertile soil to plant new growth, to plant new dreams into, to put new flower beds in. And that's a very literal thing that's happening, but it's exactly the same. It's a perfect time to clear your home. And I like to do uncrossing candles. And that would be a candle where you're letting go of what is in your way and anyone that is in your way and anything that is defragging your brain in the wrong way. And then of course, I will light a separate candle of manifestation on Sunday. So I'm a big candle person. I know there's a lot of different kinds of magic. I just tend to include candles in mine. But this is a perfect time for those separate rituals, a clearing ritual. Maybe you take your witch's broom and clear the house of old energy. Good time to sage or cleanse or just really let go of anything that is not serving you energetically. The other thing that I will say about what is going on right now is that you can really connect to your soul's purpose and essence right now. This is happening, and it's going to happen more and more. You are going to become more connected to your higher self as it comes online. That's going to start happening over the next 30 to 40 years. It never goes backwards in this way. More and more people are awakening. And if you're one of the leaders of that, you're ready to have the upgrade so you can lead everybody that is waking up right now. And I think that's where most of my audience is. Or maybe you are one of the people who are just waking up. Either way, lean into talking to your higher self and asking to be more in line with your soul's desires and purpose. And my favorite way of saying that is to ask to be on my highest timeline. And what happens is in quantum physics, we can get off of track because every time we make a choice, another possibility opens. But eventually we want to be on purpose. We want to be living our life through our desires and through our dreams. And again, how much better can we do that than Pisces season, the total dreamer? And so take a big breath and just exhale all of the energy you've been holding on to. I want you to imagine, and it's a great time with this particular energy, to imagine yourself as already in the new shoes, in the new frequency. And it is all about frequency. You want your frequency to be love and above, hence the reason I suggest the forgiveness work. And if you're there in this frequency, what do you need to forgive? Maybe the forgiveness is I should have, I would have, or I could have. And if you're beating yourself up at all about where you are not, maybe 2020 threw you for a loop and you were in a good place, or maybe something has happened since then and you've gotten off track. I would encourage you right now and invite you, try these words. These are from Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life. I forgive you and I set you free for not being who I wanted you to be. You can do this for yourself, you can do this for a circumstance, or you can do this for another person. I release you from my expectations. I release you from how I wanted you to be, and I set you free. And if I encourage you to, if it's true, just say, I love you, and I set myself free too, in whatever way that needs to be. Now, once that is done, get connected to the calibration you want to be. Take a deep breath in, bring that breath all the way to your pineal gland. Your pineal gland is like going to activate your dreams in a really deep way. If you can just visualize that, see it, feel it, and connect to it. So you bring your breath up to your mind's eye and then formulate the highest timeline is this. This is what I really want. This is what I'm choosing. This is what I'm manifesting. And I'm putting myself on this higher timeline right here, right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. So just to wrap up for all of you that are popping on a little bit late, this week on Sunday, we have the beautiful new moon in Pisces. And it is an opportunity for deep forgiveness work, deep dreaming, deep recalibration, and connecting to your highest timeline. That's how we play around here when we're living magically. I invite you, if this is something that you're interested in, we're going to be doing our first ThetaTuesday next week, which is a free group for anybody who has taken ThetaHealing classes. So if you've ever taken a ThetaHealing class with me and you want to enjoy a practice group, it is a private group that is for Theta healers, but it is free and it starts next week. We also have a couple of opportunities for half-price scholarships for my retreat that I'm doing with Leona, Marissa, and Missy on Saturday of this week. So if you are interested in coming to a retreat this weekend and you want to send me a message, I would be happy to get you a special code just for this week. And last but not least, save the date because we are doing yet another one of our magic miracle oil temples on the 19th of March if you're in town for the equinox. So it's interesting. The equinox is early this year. It's on the 19th. So if you normally celebrate your spring equinox on the 20th or 21st, just know the astrology brings it up early this year. So planning that in your calendar for later this month. The 19th is the equinox. So it's early in the season this year. That's the way it's going to fall. And last but not least, if you're interested, we have a Game of Life class coming. I haven't taught that class online before, and so it's time. It's really a magnificent, beautiful class. If you've taken some of the Theta Healing courses and you really want to excel your coaching and Theta Healing opportunities, the Game of Life class is coming up this month. Yes, it is a huge month, packed full of astrological and magical Michelle activities. So there's lots going on. And so I would just say, take this week to take that breath before it gets really intense as the month gets bigger and more intense with the equinox and the eclipse later in the month. So this is your week of breathing, dreaming, and recalibrating. And as always, I love you and live magically.